Welcome. Hi, this is Carol from Skill Check, and I'm going to talk to you today about, do managers stage auction units? Is that a myth or reality? Well, yeah, I've been known to stage a few, I do believe. Let's look at this particular space. Has this one been staged? It sure is neat and clean and organized. I do find something interesting here, though. I love like self storage, the National Self Storage boxes here because that's the company that I started with. But they've got a real variety. U-Haul, these one that say top on them, so they've either moved a lot or something, and then the mover won. So these people have gone to every storage place that they could to get boxes for sure. I think the interesting thing about this is that, the laws, I guess the most states, lien laws, they don't include anything about telling us what to do, about how to stage it, how to take, we take pictures of it, of the goods, and we advertise it. So can we move things around? Well, yes, technically. I think the other question is, does your company allow you to move something around? That certainly may be true. I think for me, when I had all my storage properties, I I made a decision, and going with, like, for example, the California lien law, it says give a general description of the goods, and so I do that. However, there are times when, as the supervisor looking at the space and inventorying the space, or even my area managers who are doing this, I would say to them, if you see something that you need to move around or push around a little bit, do that. And if not, there's nothing saying that we can't let someone step into the unit. That's typically a rule that we put in just to keep people from pilfering things, because I have had people try to, or not try to, steal something out of a space. And one was a briefcase, and the real big guy, and it was in Chicago, and he just put that briefcase right under his big puffy coat, and another person saw him do it, and he came over to me and he goes, he just quickly got that thing out of the unit, and you didn't even see it because you were turning around and getting ready to go to the next one. And so I asked him, and then I kicked him out, and he ended up coming back. I told him never come back again. And then the next one he shows up, and I said, you can't bid here anymore. You can't steal from us and bid. So it's just one of those weird things in life, right? So, one of the things I'm going to advise is you got to take better pictures. And this, I don't think it should be left to just some crappy camera. Okay, this shouldn't be left to some camera that's not very good. You want to make sure that you have the best pictures that you can get. Now, this I got off of a auction website. This was one of the pictures, this one on the left, where it's got all of the blurriness. I'm thinking, oh, okay, you kind of can tell it's the couches and whatever it is, but why put in a picture like that? It just seems stupidity to me. So then the next one, there's not enough lighting. This middle picture here, there's just not enough lighting. It's not terrible. And the third one I have here, whatever all that stuff is on the floor, I have actually taken a broom out before and kind of swept some things out, because especially stuff that's come in from the outside, that they didn't do, that wasn't theirs, and especially near the very front. I'll show you some pictures in a few minutes where you can certainly sweep it up around there to make it look a little bit better. But when you inventory, don't be in a hurry. And that's one of the things that I found with my managers, is that sometimes they get in a hurry, or they leave us very little time, or I have done that. I have been like, okay, I've got 3 more to do today and I don't have much time left, so let's hurry. And then I was really, don't do that. And you want to make sure, again, you're taking the best pictures you can, and then check them while you're at the door. Make sure that you look at it so you don't have to go reopen it. I have made my managers reopen it and take more pictures. When I looked at the pictures, they weren't good enough to put online. So I thought, It's a good idea. So invest in a good cell phone or camera itself, and then some lighting. You can certainly get decent cameras now for not very much money, and truly, it is a nice investment because remember, I don't know, some of you may have been this long as I have. The old Polaroids we used to have, and using those were horrible. They just, gosh, the lighting wasn't usually right, and it was, you're trying to dry them off and see if they're good, and I don't know, it was just a mess. The other thing is, this space for sure is one that could have been staged. I'm not even sure how you might even try to stage it. But no, this one's a rough space to even do anything with. There's not a whole lot you can do. And even if you tried to move things around a little bit, I mean, one of the things we worry about in self-storage is just the manager getting hurt, something falling on them, getting in there and doing anything. Plus, I feel like it's a good idea to have the least amount of contact with the goods as possible, so that no one's taking anything out of it. And I think that that's important. And generally, we may have to pay someone to take this to the dump. That frankly, that happens to us. And sometimes I'll find a bidder that comes in, and I'll say, hey, anyone volunteer or to take this stuff off for us, you can have it if you want it, or sometimes I actually have paid to get things like this out so I can get it re-rented. So yeah, that's no fun. I hate it when you open it up and it looks like this, because there is nothing to me that's worth all that work. So remember, check what type of space is being sold. Because when you're talking about and make sure if you're using online auction sites, you're saying this is from a private seller. This is one of our clients that can't come pick it up and they want to sell it. And they tend to have more staged units where they put stuff in there and they want to sell it online, or a manager's unit. This is the one where people leave us goods that we don't, and some people call it the manager build up space, but whatever you call it, it's just, when customers move out and they gift us something and we have to dispose of it. I think one of the first things I saw was, that I remember thinking, gosh, what are we supposed to do with this? It was just a crock pot in the middle of the aisle, and I thought, and they thought that this was a good idea, just to leave this. It wouldn't the last thing wouldn't fit in there, or maybe they forgot it. I don't know. That's a possibility too. But one of the other things, and I wanted to show you this because on Storage Treasures it says non-lien unit manager special. So this may have been something that someone said, hey, we're just going to give it over to you and you can sell it or do whatever with it. We've moved on and we don't even live there anymore. We're not going to come pick it up. And frankly, it's junk, right? So we have to get rid of it one way or another. And if that's true, there is a, I can't see, it says minimum bid 10, but I don't see much anything else happening there. So it may not go, and we may just have to dispose of it, but at least we tried, right? The other thing is guns and units. This is another question that people have. And storage operators, and you may or may not know this, they should not sell guns. We should not sell guns that are in units unless you have a license to sell guns, which I don't know any storage operator. Well, I actually do know one that has a license to sell guns. But what I normally do is if I see the gun, I put it near the front. And sometimes I will take it with me. I take it to a gun dealer and rifle or handgun or whatever it is, and then I ask them to run it to see if it's been used in a crime. So if you find a gun, you can remove it from the space and take it to a gun dealer. They can sell it and you can make the money off of that. It doesn't necessarily have to be in with the unit itself and you're not advertising the gun with the unit. That's an important part. But again, we can dispose of something like that because we just don't, and again, we don't always know when there are guns in the unit that someone's going to get. And maybe they've been used in a crime and maybe they haven't. So it's important to try to do the gun issue correctly. But again, we should not sell them in units unless we have a license to sell guns. But we can certainly take it to a dealer. That's just the easiest way to do. But I would let your supervisor do that. I don't let my managers do that. Well, I have taken the gun. I've put all the information down about it, and one of the managers, it was a little further away, and he said, hey, I'll go take it over there if you'd like me to. And so I gave him all the information, and I gave him a note from me and signed it and put my card on it. And so when he went in, he could tell the dealer about what was going on, and we found it in a storage unit. So the other thing is about a general description of the goods. Sometimes customers do put some of the better items near the front door. And, maybe tubs or boxes, they don't always match. Some people say, oh, that it's not a very good unit fitted unless it all matches, or mismatched furniture is common. Those sorts of things do happen. I know some people think we stage units and that we put better stuff in one or another. It's just not even worth it for us. And most storage operators that are really good, management companies and storage owners, they don't allow their employees to do that because they're going to get their back hurt. They're going to something could fall on them. And every one of those things have happened to me, where my managers have gotten in units or kind of climbed up on something to see what something was and then hurt themselves. I've learned over time that you just don't allow someone to get in there and mess around, because it's just not a good idea. Someone's going to get hurt. The other thing I will have to say, I got a call one day from a customer. They called our main office and they said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that my stuff was delinquent, and I thought it went up to sale. And I believe that your managers bought the unit and now they're selling it as swap meet. And I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign. And even if they did buy it, well, in this case, they had someone else buy it for them at the auction, and then they went and sold the stuff. But to me, that's not right, because they had the ability to see what was in there, where they could have gone through it and all sorts of things and had time to do that, where the auction attendee, they're just standing on the outside. And then I would always say, if my manager wants to bid on something, you certainly can, or you could have someone there, but I would prefer my employees not to bid on units. It just doesn't seem right to me. But they can, have their mother or father or someone else there that I don't even know what's happening, that person is their bidding. So yes, and then when people find the managers out there selling the customers' goods that are in the storage unit, it is just well, it just doesn't seem right to me. I don't know. It's just a strange world sometimes, isn't it? So thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If you would like any topic to talk about, I can certainly do that too. And please subscribe, like, or share. And thank you so much, and happy renting. Bye-bye.